When you come along and rap,
Yeah.
where does the politics coming from?
When I make my music, there's never a thought of like, do I want to make a song that's political? It's just whatever's on my heart. All the things I know today about being an artist were learned in the art of delivering pizzas.
As someone who is a Palestinian, did you have to think twice about speaking on this issue?
No.
There is a mob. There is a cancel culture
there
mentality.
is. And I'm not a part of that. And I know there's going to be people who are going to watch this and they're not going to like what I'm about to say. I don't care.
What do you make of DJ Khaled's silence on this?
I don't give a shit what DJ Khaled thinks. Sometimes these celebrities that seem like they're these big people are very small.
Back in the day, you had a Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
Today, very few people are willing to take that risk.
Yes, LeBron James is not saying something. Yes, Steph Curry is not saying something. But Chance the Rapper is saying something. Kehlani is saying something. Hosier is saying something.
Bernie Sanders doesn't say the word genocide.
And he should.
And he should.
Because Zohran is bigger than Zohran. Zohran is about the interest of people over the interest of elite.
It's also breaking down taboos, as you say.
Exactly.
If he can win in New York, then why can't people win elsewhere?
He's a crack in the matrix.
Yes.
Palestinian joy is resistance. Palestinian love is resistance.
I'm Mehdi Hassan.
I'm Anees.
And we're not kidding. There's a Teo podcast where I get to talk to people about funny things and I hope serious things. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me,
It's
brother.
such a pleasure to have you here.
Yes, pleasure's
There
mine.
is so much to talk about. We are here in DC. You and I are both from this area. You're literally born and raised.
Yes, Virginia.
And I moved here 10 years ago and love it. Before we get to all the good stuff, we just got to start with a very, very blunt point. The tash.
Yeah.
What we call the tash. It's iconic.
Yeah.
Isn't it? People love your mustache.
You know, at this point, I'm afraid to get rid of it.
Have you thought about it?
I actually did think about it.
But you're like, what will the fans say?
You know, it's just been a minute. In the very beginning, when I first got going, the earliest days, I didn't have it. But it's become like a part of my identity.
It's like a lucky charm.
Yeah. I don't know who I am without it.
Well, who you are is you are a very popular musician. You're a very popular artist, singer. You're half Palestinian,
Yes.
half Lebanese.
Yes, sir.
Which half is which?
Father's side is Lebanese, mother's side Palestinian.
Nothing going on in those countries these days. Very quiet.
No, it's actually very chill these days.
Very chill. Nothing to talk about on that front. In fact, your sister, Layla, has written about your grandfather having to have walked. You've got a big story going back.
Yeah.
From Jerusalem to Jordan. Tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think as a lot of people know in their family histories, so many of the people who are in Jordan, right, are just refugees from Palestine, right? And so many people whose families left Palestine throughout the years, it took different trajectories, right? Like my grandfather had to walk to Jordan, and eventually in the late 50s, they came to America. And, you know...
Your grandparents came to America? Or
Correct,
your
yes.
Oh, wow. So, okay.
Yeah. No, so my mother is the fourth of eight. Fifth of eight. And
You're going to get in trouble for that.
I know.
Can't get that
Sorry,
wrong.
Mom.
You can't get that wrong
Sorry.
in our community.
Fifth of eight.
You can't get number of siblings wrong.
Especially when there's eight. It's a very small amount
My
for
mother
Palestinians.
is also one. Second of eight.
Yeah,
See,
there you go.
I got it right.
You got it right off.
Straight up. Second's easier to remember. The fifth, it gets
Fifth
harder.
is, yeah, when you get the 4 or 5, like, what's the
split.
difference, right? It's just at that point, they were just,
Yeah,
you know,
mashallah.
exactly. Good job. No, but she was the first one born here. And so, yeah, my grandparents moved, my grandfather first, and then my teta moved with the 4 eldest, and then my mother was the firstborn in America.
Liking this video? Then don't just watch, hit like, share, and subscribe. And tap the bell so you never miss a video or live show. But if you want early access to exclusive content, then you have to head to Zateo.com and subscribe now. You'll be supporting fearless, independent journalism.
And you have grown up in, as you said, in Virginia, Northern Virginia, the DC
Yes, sir.
area. I've been here a decade in DC, and in the DMV, there is a great Arab American,
Oh, yeah.
Muslim American, Asian American community.
Oh, yeah.
What is it like growing up half Palestinian, half Lebanese in the DC, Virginia area?
The DMV is brown. And we talked about this. It's a very brown area. I did not go to a brown school. I went to Langley High School, which is like, at the time at least, was a very homogenous school, we'll call it that. It was not, the DMV didn't feel very brown then.
But it does
Now it does. And I think that the truth is that the DMV has become progressively more brown and more of a melting pot. And for whatever reasons, whether that's like, you know, the amount of refugees that are being forced to exile from their countries or the job market or whatever it is, I do love it. I love that about this area. And in particular, I love it because it makes the food good here.
What is your favorite restaurant?
Okay. I'll give you a brown restaurant that I love.
Give me a brown restaurant.
Charcoal Kebab in Herndon.
Lovely.
That's
I don't know it. I will have
you
to
have
check it
to
out.
go. We
Okay.
can go. It's
I will check
definitely
it
a
out.
famous spot.
All right, so people know you for your music, but before you became a musician, so I was reading up about you. It's fascinating.
Yeah, my lore.
You went to law school.
I did.
You didn't just you finished law school.
Correct. I'm a lawyer.
Did you ever practice law?
It depends on what you would say. Practicing law. Did you
get a job?
Did I pass the bar and get an offer somewhere? Yes.
Wow, but you didn't actually go.
I did not take the offer.
So I've said this to many people who've been on this show. We've talked about the fact that my team and I, when we launched the show, and our first guest was Bassem.
Yeah.
And Bassem is a doctor, as you know,
Yeah.
before he became a comedian. We were going to call the show "They Should Have Been Doctors."
That's actually
right?
hilarious.
Because a lot of us who are in the performing arts, in media, in news, in comedy, in music,
yeah.
our parents wish we would have been doctors or lawyers.
Correct.
Like my
correct.
mother is a doctor, but she says to me, "I don't expect you to be a doctor, but you could have been a lawyer."
Or engineer.
Engineer.
It's like they'll accept it.
Yes, my father is an engineer.
Correct.
My mother is a doctor. It's like
did a good
cliche,
job.
Cliche
Yeah.
brown parent.
100%. My dad's a lawyer.
So my mother would say, "Okay, I never expected you to be a doctor, but you could have been a lawyer."
Right.
You actually did become
Yes,
a lawyer.
yeah,
So
yeah.
what was the reaction of the Palestinian Lebanese parents to Anees saying, "Hey, I'm going to rap"?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was, let's put it this way.
How painful a conversation was that?
Awkward.
Awkward, okay.
Awkward. Here's the difference for me. And here's where I was lucky. As we talked about, my mother, was born here, right? So she was the
Fifth of 8.
Yeah, 5th of 5. First one born here. My father, we're 5th generation. So, and Lebanese, but the Lebanese Christians were the first ones that was the first wave of immigration from the Middle East. So on that side of the family, although my father has sort of really leaned in to his roots and almost I would say in a sense, reversed the tide of assimilation in a way. But nevertheless, being 5 generations deep Lebanese, you're not going to get that same fob mentality. You're not going to get that same doctor, lawyer, engineer. He happens to be a lawyer, but between him and my mom, and they're both basically just, hippies. So between the two of them.
That's useful. My parents are not hippies.
Yeah, no, I got lucky.
So,
They were scared shitless. Don't get me wrong. They tried to, hey, what if you did this? Hey, my friend has a sports law firm. You could try to be you love sports. And I had to just kind of explain to them
but why? Okay, it's just for people watching now. I'm sure
why did I change?
Yeah, you go to law school. It's damn hard to
Yeah.
get into law school.
Yeah.
It's damn hard to pass the bar. You
Yeah.
do all that.
I can't believe it.
And then you just say, I'm not going to do this.
I think God blessed me by, I think God is the only reason why I passed the bar because I truly knew I failed that exam when I left the exam.
Okay.
I drove home from Roanoke or wherever it was, for sure I failed that. I was just guessing for half of the exam, no matter how hard I studied.
There's nothing wrong with guessing.
Yeah, but it was a lot of guesswork. I think I passed it because there was no other way that I would have had the courage to be okay, now I'm going to put this to rest. Why did I quit? It just wasn't meant for me. It wasn't meant. I did.
When did it dawn on you that it wasn't meant for you? That actually music was meant.
Yeah. So at the very end of the bar exam, somebody over the PA is like, "All right, it's completed. You'll now wait 3 months, and you'll know the results in October, right, or whenever it was. 3 months from the date of the exam." That created a sense of existential panic for me because I said, "Okay, wow, for 3 months I need to wait just for them to tell me I failed." And so in those 3 months, I soul searched, my brother. I was praying. I was trying to find answers. And in my soul, in my gut, I knew no matter what the result is, I don't want to do this, but God willing, I passed this so that people won't talk shit when I say I didn't want to do it. And I passed it. And so, I think a lot of the aunts and uncles that were shocked, at least were able to take a little bit of pressure off me.
Are you the only musician in your family?
By trade, not
Okay,
not
in the shower.
No, my dad is absolutely incredible on the tabla and on the keys.
But career-wise,
yeah. Well, no. Hold on, I'm gonna get in trouble here. No, I have some cousins.
Okay.
I have some cousins.
Just sticking with Anees law.
Yeah.
You also delivered a lot of pizzas, I believe, when you were in law school.
Yes, sir.
And apparently you delivered pizzas in total for 10 years,
Yeah.
even after passing the bar.
Yeah.
How come? What was it? What did you love it?
I loved it.
You loved it?
I loved it.
Did you partake in some of the stuff you delivered?
No, But what would happen is whenever there would be a mess up, which sometimes I maybe messed up myself.
You get to keep the pizza?
It's a crew pie.
That's
yeah.
not a bad
No, I love delivering pizzas.
What lessons?
Yeah.
I got to ask this question.
There you go.
What lessons did delivering pizza teach a young Anees?
Everything. All the things I know today about being an artist were learned in the art of delivering pizzas.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, like I mean, so many of my coworkers would come back to the shop like pissed that their tips were not high, and I would always sometimes be like confused, like, wait, what do you mean you got tipped $1? I got tipped $6. Like, why? How did you only get 1? I got 6. I came to realize like I was learning how to deal with humans. I was learning the art of storytelling, I think, because when I got to people's houses, it was a chance for me to connect, right? So that's really all it was. Like, I got to literally open the door into thousands of homes, right? So sometimes the experience delivering pizzas was stressful as hell. A lot of times I found it very joyful because I got to kind of like peek into people's lives, which is exactly what I do as an artist.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I got asked a corollary question.
Yeah.
What were the nightmares from delivering pizza?
Oh, man.
Any good nightmare stories?
Oh, man. Probably some things I shouldn't say. Yeah, there was one time, you know what's funny you asked this? There was one time I was on my way home from a delivery, and I'm driving down this long road in the backwoods, not backwoods, but back roads of Virginia, and a car stops in front of me. We're driving together. He stops. It's not a police car, but there's police lights.
Okay.
Stops in front of me. Not, I'm saying pulled me over, like just stopped on the road. And so I park. But I'm looking at this car and it's like a beat down old random sedan. And it dawned on me in that moment, like, I'm not safe right now. Like, I don't know what's going on. I had the little topper on the top. Maybe they were just gonna try to steal a pizza, but I'd watched too many like true crime episodes to know that like whatever's going on here, for me, this doesn't look good. So I just
got out of there.
Just skirted. Hardcore.
Took your pizzas and went for it.
There was none left.
Last pizza question. Favorite topping?
Oh, man. This is jalapeno.
Jalapeno, a little bit of spice.
Yeah, a little bit of spice.
Okay.
I think all Palestinians know a little bit about, we like spice.
I'm the brown guy who's perpetually in the hunt for halal pepperoni.
Well, okay, but you probably also like spice, right?
I do. Not on pizza.
Because... Not on pizza.
No, spice and like Indian food.
I was going to say, because my favorite food happens to be Indian food.
Oh, good.
And so when I go to my favorite Indian restaurant, they know I don't even have to tell them now. I swear to God, they know. They bring out whatever I ordered, but they also bring out a little tray.
But you like spices?
I love spices.
A lot of Arabs don't like spices.
I don't know why. Not my family. In my experience, we're indulgent in spice.
Good.
Yeah.
Good to hear. So you take the bar exam.
Mm-hmm.
You're unsure about your future. You're waiting for this result. You decide to, go down this road. What's interesting is that you said you learned a lot of lessons from pizza delivery in terms of human interaction, sharing stories, storytelling. There's also a very political side to you as well, and to your music. And it's not just about October 7th and Gaza, and we'll come to that.
Right.
I think we have a clip from about 5 years ago. I think we can play a clip of you rapping in your car.
I don't even know what you're about to play, but play it.
I said independence. What does that even mean? Is it red, white? Is it blue? Is it black, red? Is it green? Is it something they desperately need in Yemen and Palestine? Is it freedom for black people we've only seen in a dream while the propaganda machine broadcasts on a screen? Mexican kids are still getting ripped from their families. We need to meditate on the 4th and ask what it means. I won't celebrate independence till everybody is free or not.
I'll be honest, I don't recognize that guy.
No.
There's no stash.
No,
There's no tash. There's no mustache, whatever you want to call it.
That's a and by the way, that's Anees the rapper.
Is that a different title?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
My fans, anybody that watches this will know, like before I got Anees, the elusive five-word handle, there was multiple years of Anees the rapper.
And that's Anees the rapper in the car.
That's Anees the rapper.
In the car there, but very political. Talk about the 4th of July.
Yeah, yeah.
When you come along and rap, and when you come along and come up with lyrics, where does the politics coming from?
I mean, I just don't know any other way, to be honest. Like we talked about my dad being a lawyer, so he got his start in civil rights law, and he was the president of ADC, Arab American Anti-Discrimination Committee. So growing up as not just a Arab American in Northern Virginia, which as we've discussed now is more recently become a browner and browner area, but even in the 90s, growing up for me, these formative memories were civil rights, politics, Palestine, always. Palestine, Lebanon, but beyond that, civil rights as it pertained to Arabs, Muslims, whomever. So for me, this is not like an option. You know, it's not, when I make my music, there's never a thought of like, do I want to make a song that's political? It's just whatever's on my heart, right? And what's on my heart is something that's been on my heart since I was a kid.
Do you see music and art more generally and storytelling as a way of, I don't want to say, sending a political message, but getting your point across?
Of course. I mean, music is the message and it's the medium, you know? And so don't get me wrong, I have plenty of songs that are just happy.
Yes.
You know, joyful. Those are the songs that really changed my life. Like, you know, I have love songs, right? But to me, music at its essence is a spiritual act, right? It's something that we connect on spiritual. And not to get too deep here, but in my opinion, the underlying spiritual nature of music requires you to care about other people. You know what I'm saying? If you're an artist and you're performing this spiritual labor of creating music and
it's for other people
and you don't care about how it affects other people, then in my opinion, maybe you're less of an artist and you're more of a capitalist.
Well put. Your career, that was 2020 we just saw.
Wow.
I believe
crazy.
Your career was really jump-started in 2021.
Yeah.
And in 2021, there was a moment where Justin Bieber joined one of your Instagram lives and starts praising your music.
Yeah.
What is that like for you when you're in the middle of an Instagram live and you see on the side, Justin Bieber has joined the chat?
Yeah. I mean, at the time, it was pure fight or flight, right? It's like in this moment, you've quit law, you've chosen to do music. It's been 2 years. You've grinded, but only for 2 years. And suddenly one of the biggest artists in the world is in your chat. So at that moment, you have the choice. You're going to put up or shut up. Because I could have ignored it, right? If I just would have been like, this is too nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
But that's just not who I am. So there wasn't any thought. It was just boom, boom. And then, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like that wasn't a absolutely pivotal moment in shifting not only the way people perceive me, but shifting the way I perceive myself as an artist.
Do you know how he found you, out of interest? Did you ever?
I have theories.
Okay.
I have theories, and I'll just say, I can't confirm this. I believe it was a Palestinian friend of mine who made the connect, who, let's just say, put me on the radar.
Are you a believer?
Of course.
Because after October the 7th, as you well know, poor old Justin got in some hot water for posting an Instagram story with the caption, "Pray for Israel," over a picture of Gaza that he then quickly deleted.
Awkward. I mean, look, I think the day before he posted that, he also put a post up on his story that said, "Praying for all my Palestinian and either Israeli or Jewish friends." I can't remember what he said. And I DM'd him and I said, "Hey, as your Palestinian friend, this means a lot." And he responded. The next day he put that story up, right? I'm just going to say this, candidly, between you and me. When it comes to people at that scale, I'm not making excuses for anybody. Everybody should take the time to know what's going on in Palestine. It's not complicated, and they should do the right thing and say the right thing, no matter who they are. But what I will say is, in the industry that I'm in, and in the industry that you're in, I tend to give some people grace if I feel that there's probably room to understand them, right? Now, if somebody's outwardly spreading propaganda, Zionist propaganda, the grace goes out of the window for me, because at that point, you know what you're doing.
But even put aside the Zionist propaganda, even people who do make mistakes, specifically on Palestine, Israel, but more broadly in our culture, there isn't much grace around these days.
No.
There is a mob, there is a cancel culture mentality.
And I'm not a part of that.
There is a pick the worst faith interpretation for why someone said something, rather than, as you've just done, the best faith. Maybe they weren't paying attention. Maybe someone gave them bad advice. That's missing. And especially post October 7th, I feel like that's missing.
Yeah. Look, I've never been a cancel culture guy, ever. Now, does that mean that there aren't certain people who I now know where they stand and I will never have a relationship with them? or I will never align myself with them. No, I think there's a difference between being able to discern who stands for the right things and who you're going to support versus...
even if they're not perfect.
Correct. Versus, people who make maybe good faith mistakes or just stupid mistakes.
Yeah.
I think, and I know there's going to be people who are going to watch this and they're not going to like what I'm about to say. I don't care because I am who I am. I'm a believer, not more than anything. I'm a believer. I'm a believer in a God that is a compassionate God, a God of forgiveness, a God of mercy. And I don't believe that the pathway to, shall we just say, making a difference at times is pushed forward by cancellation. I think I understand why people want to cancel people.
Yeah.
I understand.
And it's a very sensitive time.
It is.
We're witnessing a genocide in real time. I was going to come to this later, but since we're on this topic, I was talking to some friends earlier. Bernie Sanders doesn't say the word genocide.
And he should.
And he should.
Yeah.
People get very upset with him.
Yeah.
But Bernie Sanders is also the guy who just managed to get a majority of Senate Democrats
to
vote. First time in my lifetime and yours.
Yeah.
Astonishing achievement. No, wouldn't have happened without Bernie. But he doesn't say genocide, not good. AOC was the first person to say genocide on the House floor.
But the actions are totally opposite.
But on this one vote on Iron Dome, she said, well, I'm not going to, and everyone's like, I think somebody threw fake blood on her office. And I feel like when we were talking, I was thinking about that. I was thinking, these are people who are clearly allies.
Yeah.
They are clearly, their heart is in the right place. Yeah. Clearly they've done, but then they've done things that you and I may not agree with.
Yeah.
What is the best way of engaging in that moment?
Yeah.
Because in the heat of the online reaction, things go a little crazy, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, what you just said about Bernie is so true, right? It's this weird, we never know why people do what they do, right? You never know, somebody paid. People get so upset about DJ Khaled, right? Does somebody have blackmail on them, right? You never know why people do or don't do what they do or don't do. In the case of Bernie, I think it's absolutely ridiculous that he just won't use the word genocide when he knows very full well that it is, right? I think maybe it's in his mind, a strategic move of his, right? In the case of AOC, I think everybody looks to her as this beacon of progressive future. Yeah. But then, like you said, the actions don't align with the,
that one action.
You're right. So,
voted,
that's correct.
Well on multiple
that's correct. That's correct. Sometimes the actions don't.
But that's my point, right? It's like, if you're good here,
then what's going on here? Yeah.
What do we do in this current climate?
Yeah.
And I get the anger and pain.
Yeah.
Especially, I'm not Palestinian, but I get the anger and pain of Palestinians saying, this is not acceptable from a Bernie or an AOC or whoever it is. But to go back to our earlier conversation, how do we, you said the word grace, and that set me down this path.
No, for sure.
An interesting point. By the way, you mentioned, now you set me off with DJ Khaled.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I shouldn't have brought him up.
Yes, you have done. What do you make of DJ Khaled's silence on this? It's just, forget the conspiracy theories. Just what's your reaction?
I don't give a shit what DJ Khaled thinks.
Okay.
I don't. I really don't. I think people expected so much of someone.
I mean, they didn't expect so much. It's such a low bar.
Right.
They expect you to say,
no, you're right. You're right. I'm wrong. They didn't expect so much. But I guess what I'm saying is, even though it was so little that they expected, I think people need to realize, again, I could get in trouble for saying this, sometimes these celebrities that seem like they're these big people are very small.
Yeah.
They're very small, because the measure of a person isn't celebrity. The measure of a person is, what do you stand for? The measure of a person is like, what are you willing to do in the moments of crisis for your fellow human, right? Just because somebody has Grammys and awards and followers, that does not mean that they are a big human being. They could still be a very, very, very small human being.
I mean, we've seen that across Hollywood, the music industry, sports.
Yeah.
Very few people have spoken out about a genocide in front of our eyes. We talk about people like Muhammad Ali and Vietnam. There's no one who comes close to him today.
Correct.
There's been nothing, maybe I missed it, but Steph Curry, LeBron James, not a word about the genocide unfolding in real time. Musicians, there've been very few. Back in the day, you had a Rage Against the Machine. Today, very few people are willing to take that risk or give a shit.
Yeah.
I wonder, as someone who is a Palestinian in these spaces, did you have to think twice about speaking on this issue?
No.
Because you didn't care, or because you didn't think it would harm you?
I figured it might harm me. I always knew that. People have been telling me from the beginning of my career, keep going. And remember, don't say anything about Palestine because then they'll ruin your career, right?
People have said that to me, and I'm in a different industry.
Of course,
similar things.
I mean, it's a known thing.
Yes.
Palestine was designed to be a taboo by people who want it to remain a taboo, and it's no longer a taboo, right? Here's my thoughts, right? When it comes to Palestine, and it's not, like you said, not just October of 2023, but from the very beginning of my career, I speak about Palestine because it's the right thing to do. And if I profit from my silence, to me, I'll never be able to sleep on my pillow. And one thing I know for sure is you could take away everything I have going professionally, the career, the money, the ability to do shows, the platforms, social media. You could take that away and I would be sad. I would be sad.
Of course.
But my life would go on. If you took away my peace of mind, if you took away my self-respect, if you took away my conscience.
Yeah, well said.
You know what I'm saying? It's just.
You reminded me about another clip we have of you, actually.
Oh, God.
Let's play this.
Run
This is from December 2023. It's a clip of you at a concert just after October the 7th, speaking on exactly this subject. Let's play that.
And I used to be afraid to speak about this shit, but fuck that, never anymore. It's not the time to be silent. It's not the time to be silent. It's time for us to lift our voices. It doesn't matter if it was Palestine, Yemen, Sudan, the Congo, London, America. It doesn't matter. Wherever people suffer, we have to be with them.
It's interesting there you say, I used to be afraid, because we were told, like you and I growing up, don't touch this issue in your in your career paths. What's interesting is you mentioned a second ago before we played that clip is kind of the taboo has been lifted.
Right.
More people are speaking out. Maybe not the LeBron Jameses of this world or the DJ Khaleds, but more people are in a way that I never thought we would see on the Oscars stage. A Palestinian film director winning an Emmy and talking about apartheid and ethnic cleansing.
Correct.
For millions of Americans watching. So things are changing.
They're absolutely changing. And by the way, yes, LeBron James is not saying something. Yes, Steph Curry is not saying something. But Chance the Rapper is saying something. Kehlani is saying something. Hosier is saying something. Billie Eilish is saying something. Mark Ruffalo is saying something. You're seeing people that are A-list, right? I mean, when I was young,
Guy Pearce. Shout out to Guy Pearce, great Australian actor.
And the list is a lot longer than people think. That would never have been the case 20 years ago. That would never have been the case 10 years ago. So even if, like you asked me, was I afraid to speak out about Palestine at the beginning? You know, even if I knew, just so you know, I only got into music because of Palestine. I only got into this because I figured this is going to be my, like I told you, I was raised in civil rights. My whole purpose, my whole life has been, you know, inspired by what I've seen my father do, what I've seen my sister do, what I've seen my grandfather do. So this was my purpose, right? I figured this was my chance. And naively, as a kid, I believed, and naively, even recently, I believed, all right, Anees, you become the biggest artist in the world. You use your platform, and you can somehow convince the world that we need to free Palestine, right? Now I've realized that maybe it's not so self-centered. Maybe it's not so hero-based. Maybe it's not that my voice is going to make this cataclysmic change for Palestine. Maybe it's that my voice will contribute to the breaking down of the taboo.
Breaking down taboo for sure. By the way, you mentioned your sister. I should say Layla Makaiber is a spokesperson for UNRWA here in the US, which is, of course, been an organization that's taken a lot of shit over the last 22 months. A lot of lies have been told about UNRWA. As people now catch up in the Western media to Israeli lies about famine and starvation, hopefully they will catch up to the lies that were told about UN and UN aid. But on that subject about the taboos and breaking, so on the one hand, you've got more and more celebrities, more and more public figures speaking out. Not enough, but growing number. On the other hand, you've got the backlash or the reaction from the people in power, which is to crack down harder. Right? You're going to speak out, we're going to punish you harder. We're going to come after you harder. We've seen that on college campuses. Big theme of this show. We've talked a lot about what's happened. At last year's March for Gaza, and I think we've got another clip, you read a poem titled, "I Don't Feel Safe as a Palestinian," which touched on your fear about seeing the persecution of Palestinians both in the US and abroad. Let's play that clip.
It's just a matter of time. From out of the hell of darkness, the light of freedom will shine. From under the city's rubble, Gaza's people will rise and dismantle the occupation, because within our lifetime, we will finally be safe as Palestinians. Don't ever lose your hope. They can steal land, they can steal homes, they can steal a lot of things from us, but they can never steal our joy, they can never steal our art, and they can never steal our hope.
So you have spoken, obviously you've performed in front of crowds around the world, Portugal, London, Houston. That must have been a very different experience.
Yeah, very different. One, I was home, right?
Home to DC.
Yeah. And, you know, when I write this poem, I don't feel safe as a Palestinian, I recognize full well that my safety is not really the thing I question right now, right? I think more so when I'm writing poems that come from a personal perspective, I always have to be mindful that, like, it's not really me that's unsafe. It's not really me that is persecuted or me that is, you know, in the scope, you know? But when I write these poems, what I'm trying to do is, to the best that I can, humanize the fear, right? Humanize the real emotions that are felt, because I've been very privileged. I'm not going to make two ways about it. I've been very privileged. I was born and raised here in the DMV. I don't have the experience that even could be in the same realm as someone raised in Gaza or the West Bank.
Yeah.
You know, but I know that there are so many Palestinians, not just there, not just here, but everywhere, that don't feel safe, and that's real. Those feelings are real. Whether you're a Palestinian grandparent who moved here and lived your first 50 years of life in Ramallah, or whether you're a Palestinian that was born and raised now and you're 4 years old and you live in Texas, or a 6-year-old Palestinian kid killed in Chicago, you know, the safety of Palestinians, exactly, the safety of Palestinian human beings is something that we need to humanize.
Yes. Someone who has taken a bit of a beating for his pro-Palestine stance, but has come out on top, is Zohran Mamdani.
Yes.
Who won the mayoral Democratic primary in New York. He's now up for the general election.
The next mayor.
He's leading in the polls against Andrew Cuomo and Eric Adams. You had Zohran on stage at your show in New York on June the 12th. What made, first of all, why did you want to have him on stage? And how did that even come about?
Came about because of Layla.
Okay.
So Layla, I forget exactly how it went down. At some point she told me, hey, you know, this is something that could happen at your show. Are you open to it? Of course, I'm open to it. And so, you know, my people, his people connected. And for me, I felt so honored because I knew the moment we were in. Here I am, and I really saw, like, God's hand in it. Here I am in New York, one of my biggest markets, with all my fans who, by the way, vast majority are people of color. And vast majority are Latino, Black, Asian, and some Arab, to be honest, but not as many. And so I knew, like, this opportunity to put the next mayor who actually cares about the people who are in my audience. It just felt very serendipitous, and thank God, you know, I mean, that was beautiful to have him. I don't know how much of an impact it made, but thank God he won, you know, at least the primary.
And if he wins the general,
right,
as someone who, as you say, grew up in an ADC family, civil rights family, Arab American family, Palestine, Lebanon, how earth-shattering will it be to have a mayor of New York City who says stuff like, I'm going to arrest Benjamin Netanyahu if he comes to New York.
Oh, my God.
Which he said to me last year and has now followed him around. People are obsessed with it. I mean, I try and explain to people who don't follow politics very closely, this would be a huge,
it's bigger than New York,
freaking deal. Yeah, it's global, bigger than America.
Yeah,
I think the entire world will be watching him.
Yes, I think a couple things that I want to talk about when it comes to Zohran, right? So one, you've got the note of Netanyahu, right? If the prime minister of Israel, if Netanyahu can come to America, right, which he shouldn't be able to, but if he can come here and do an interview, which I saw on social media, where he talked about how he's not happy that Zohran won, that puts a big smile on my heart.
Yes.
That puts a big smile on my heart. Oh my God.
That's so true. He's bothering all the right people.
Oh,
and they pretend not to care, but he keeps bringing it up.
Why does he care? Because it fucking matters.
Yeah.
It matters.
Oh yeah.
It matters. If the leader of a foreign power, let's just call them, right, has such a vested interest in the state-by-state politics in our country, what does that tell you? So to see that he actually is upset tells you that it actually matters. If it didn't matter, he wouldn't be saying anything. If the New York mayor was irrelevant to him, he wouldn't be upset. But these genocidal, warmongering criminals, they know that it matters because Zohran is bigger than Zohran. Zohran is about the interest of people over the interest of elite. Zohran is about the interest of people over the interest of lobbies and foreign powers.
So breaking down taboos, as you say.
Exactly.
If he can win in New York, then why can't people win elsewhere? It breaks down this idea that you can't go against Israel or the pro-Israel lobby or the establishment or Wall Street.
Right.
Actually, you can.
He's a crack in the matrix. And let's talk about the most important part of it is that he won that election with a record-setting amount of donations raised by people, right? When I think you and I both know that campaign finance reform is one of the biggest issues in America. The reason
small donor army is very powerful.
And the fact that a small donor army can beat the Israeli lobby, right?
And the crypto lobby and the Wall Street, all the people who got behind Cuomo. And we're now seeing polling showing that he leads by double digits among Jewish voters in New York. So all the propaganda thrown against him doesn't work. Jewish New Yorkers are too smart for the bullshit that's been thrown their way.
Because Jewish New Yorkers know that Zohran is an ally to Jewish New Yorkers and to actual New Yorkers. You know, like
actual New Yorkers, not the carpetbaggers like Andrew Cuomo who doesn't even live in New York. Last thing before we wrap up, I got to ask. After October the 7th, you said you didn't feel that into playing some of your classic songs, upbeat songs like Sunny Day, because of how understandably devastated you felt about what was going on in Gaza. But now you say you play it at every concert at the request of Gaza's most famous photojournalist, Montage Aziza. What is it like for you to play that song right now?
You know, to know that Montage loves that song unlocked something in me and gave me permission, I want to say, to remember that Palestinian joy is resistance. Palestinian love is resistance. The beginning of the genocide, and I shouldn't even say the beginning of the genocide because the genocide began many decades ago, but in 2023, I had forgotten that our joy and our love is resistance, and I had felt a certain degree of guilt that was crippling me from expressing my joy and my love. And when Montage, who had been through such horrors and such nightmares and continues to go through it and continues to find every day that his friend and his neighbor has been murdered, right? When he gave me permission, and it's not even that I asked him, hey, Montage, can I play this song? It was simply the fact that he wanted to hear it. It unlocked the joy and the Palestinian love inside of me. And ever since then, I've committed myself to remembering that that joy and that love is my role. My role, yes, I'm an activist. Yes, I'm people have come to see me now in a political light, but more than anything, I'm a lover and I'm a joyful human being. And that comes very deeply from my Palestinian identity. And so shout out to Montage because he really gave me that permission.
Anees, we will have to leave it there.
Yes.
Palestinian joy is a good note
That's where we
to
end
on. Make sure, while you're feeling joyous, to like and subscribe to this podcast, wherever you get your podcast. Head over to Zateo.com, become a subscriber, so you can get new episodes of We're Not Kidding as soon as they drop. But for now, I'm Mehdi Hassan.
I'm Anees.
And we were not kidding. We're Not Kidding is a Zateo production. I'm your host, Mehdi Hassan. Today's co-host was Anees. Our executive producer is Kieran Alvey. Our senior producer and editor is Frank Capello. Our music was composed by Andy Clausen. Our design is by Alicia Tetone. Our mix engineer is Valentino Rivera. And the title card animation is by Ehsan Mezghali. Special thanks to Khalil Rahman for help with research on this episode. Did you like this video? Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and turn on notifications. For exclusive content and to support our independent, unfiltered journalism, head over to Zateo.com. Your support matters.